Hi everyone, this is Deep Dark ASMR, this time with a soft-spoken video. I'm gonna give you some tips for meditation. The thoughts expressed in this video are those of Alan Watts. In case you don't know who Alan Watts was, I think I give you a brief introduction. Alan Watts was a British philosopher who was mostly famous for his outstanding ability to interpret Eastern philosophy, Buddhism in particular, so that its main thoughts could be understood by people who grew up in a Western cultural context. He wrote, I think, more than 25 books and gave uncountable lectures that luckily have been recorded and perpetuated until today. And this man had a remarkable voice and was beyond any doubt an extraordinary orator. So if you're interested in his lectures, search YouTube for him and you will find a great amount of videos with his lectures. For now, I'm going to quote from one of his books that is basically divided into, I think, 3 interdependent parts: meditation, the nature of human beings, and philosophical fantasies. All following statements represent his views on the subject of meditation, always seen in the context of Buddhism, so these are not my own thoughts. I almost had to sneeze. So before I start, I, as usual, recommend to sit or lay down, relax, and preferably close your eyes. And breathe calmly and just listen to my voice. The art of meditation is a way to get in contact with reality. The reason why people meditate is because they aren't in contact with reality. They mistake the world as it is for the world they think and speak about, for the world they describe. That is because, on the one hand, we have the world as it is, and on the other hand, we have a huge system of symbols about this world that are roaming in our heads. These symbols are very useful. Our whole civilization is based on them. But like every good thing, these symbols also have a disadvantage. And one of their main disadvantages is that we can mistake them for reality, just as we mistake money for wealth, and our names, ideas, and pictures of us for who we really are. It is astonishing how many things don't exist in reality. For instance, there are no things and happenings in the real world. But that doesn't mean that reality is nothing but a traceless emptiness. It is more a wonderful system of ciphers we put our things and happenings in. And so, the difference between me, or I, and the rest of the universe is also just an idea. There is no real difference. Through meditation, we can achieve a feeling of our essential inseparability from the universe. For this, we indeed have to learn how to be silent. We switch off the endless gossip in our heads and become internally calm. Most of us are under a constant compulsion of thinking. But But when I talk all the time, I can't hear what the other one has got to say. And when I think all the time, and that is to say, talk to myself, then I have no other choice but to again think about thoughts. Therefore, I'm completely stuck in the world of symbols, and I'm never connected to reality. But I want to come in contact with reality. And this is the real reason for meditation. But there is yet another reason that is a little more difficult to understand. Actually, meditation neither has a reason nor a goal. So in that regard, it is completely different from all the other things that we do, except maybe from dancing and making music. You see, dancing isn't about arriving at a certain point in the room. When we dance, the journey itself is the goal. And when we make music, the playing itself is the main thing. The same applies to meditation. To meditate is to get the joke of life in this very moment. If you, therefore, meditate with the intention to increase your intelligence or to improve your character in order to master your life in a better way, then you don't meditate at all, because you think about the future. The future is an imagination. It doesn't exist. There isn't something like a tomorrow, and there will never be, because time is happening always now. And we can discover that when we stop talking to ourselves and when we stop to think. Then we come to the point that there is only the eternal here and now. Here I'd like to draw your attention to the tenet that meditation should always be pleasant and not something you do like it was an iron duty. We meditate for no other reason but joy. Today's religion suffers from too many of these duties. Meditation, if practiced correctly, has absolutely nothing to do with all of this. It is immediate experience in the eternal here and now. It leads us to a state of peace in which we can understand that the goal of life, the place where something happens, is here and now. In the art of meditation, some tools can be used. The first thing that we can do is to switch off our inner gossip by listening to pure sound. Therefore, it is good to have a gong. If you don't have a gong, you can instead use your own voice. The second thing is a necklace with pearls or something similar. Instead of looking at a clock, you can just go one pearl further every single breath. When you have achieved a very low breathing speed, it should take about 40 minutes until you have counted approximately half of them. 40 minutes is a good time to spend for meditation. However, it is recommended to stop whenever you start to feel uncomfortable. Something else we need to talk about is the position we should choose for meditation. Basically, you can sit however you want on a chair or the Japanese way which is to stay kneeling with your toes directed backwards, whilst your hands are resting relaxed in your lap. You can also try the more difficult position, the lotus. But if you haven't trained enough, this position can easily cause a lot of pain. In every case, I would recommend a cushion under your legs or bottom. When you keep your back upright, and that means not sunk down or straight as a die, then you will feel balanced and rooted with the ground. When you now sit there, with anything necessary, you preferably abandon yourself to your ears. That is the easiest way to get into the state of meditation. Close your eyes and listen to the entire spectrum of sound in your environment. Listen to the general humming and buzzing of the world, just as if you would listen to music. Try not to determine or to designate all the sounds. Just let yourself into them. Let them be. That is to say, listen to anything that wants to be heard. It doesn't matter if someone is coughing or sneezing, or if something falls to the ground. Everything is just sound. In the course of this experiment, you will of course notice that you cannot prevent yourself from identifying and designating those sounds, and that you unwillingly continue to think and talk to yourself. But it is important not to cut these things out of your consciousness and suppress them. If some sound or thought is coming into your consciousness, just look on it as a part of the general background noise. Look at your own thought as if it is just a sound. You will soon find out that this outer and inner world will soon be blended into each other. They happen. Your thoughts happen in the same way as the sound in the street. Everything is just happening. And you do nothing else but to observe it. Another very important process is to breathe. At the beginning of the meditation, let your breath flow freely. In other words, don't make any breathing exercises. Just observe how you breathe when you let yourself breathe. Then you will notice something strange. Usually we say, "I breathe," because we feel that we're willingly breathing as we willingly speak or think. But you will notice that you keep on breathing whether you think about it or not. So the curious thing about breathing is that you can control it in the way you do it and not control it because it happens to you. And this is why breathing is so important for meditation. Because if you slowly become aware of your breath, then you can see the artificial limits that we draw between the things that we do and the things happening to us or with us. Observe how you breathe and realize that the willingly and unwillingly aspects of this experience are the same thing. That may seem a bit scary on the first look. You will ask, am I really just the puppet of a happening? Just a passive tool of something that goes on without my assistance? Or am I really the one doing all of this? In reality, both is right. One does everything just as it is happening to oneself. The eyes change the sun into light. The nerves change the electric impulses in the air into warmth and temperature. Your eardrums change the pulses in the air into sound. This is how you create the world. But when we don't want to talk and philosophize about it, then there is only and we won't give that any name. When you now breathe for a while and let your breath float without any influence, you will again make a curious discovery. You will be able to breathe deeper and deeper and deeper without any particular effort. Breathing out is important because it relaxes you when you say, when you utter a sigh of relief. It feels like your breath is falling out. It falls and falls and falls and makes you feel like you're getting heavy and comfortable on a nice big bed. And when it comfortably and easily made its way out, don't pull it in. Let it fall back in. Let it fall in and feel your lungs expand and expand and expand until you feel that they are comfortably filled. Now stop for a moment. Let your breath stay a while, and then let it fall out again. You will notice your breath to become lighter, slower, and more powerful. You're now in the process of listening to all the sounds, and you observe your breath. You regard all of these processes as neither willingly nor unwillingly. You're just aware of this basic feeling. Now you slowly come into the state of meditation. Don't be hasty. Don't worry about the future. Don't spend your energy on any thought about progress. Be satisfied to be aware of the things that are happening. Don't make any choice. Just observe what's happening right now.